You carry, as a woman, the emotional weight of the world, or at least your family, whether it's your family of origin, your nuclear family around you right now, if you've got kids. But even if you're, a childless cat lady, you carry the emotional burden of still perhaps your extended family, possibly your friend group, even your corporate job. Um, there's this undercurrent of emotional weightlifting that women do every single day, all day long. This is what I've learned through July as I've dealt with a kind of serious physical manifestation with the Bell's palsy. Uh, I haven't been overly dramatic about it, but I tend to underplay it, in fact, but it's a big deal. And in addition to dealing with that physical illness, which was hard because the medical stuff, going to all the appointments to do all the acupuncture and all the stuff that I've done, it's taken up a lot of my time, a lot of my extra time and emotional energy, physical energy, and just energy in general. During that time, I started this thing called the Lose 10 Pounds Challenge. And the main thing I had to do each day was figure out from the menu of choices that Mimi and I have put together as our system for losing and maintaining weight and just caring for yourself in general. I just had to choose one or two things I could do well and then kind of notice what was challenging for me that day. That's all I had to report on. And so I was doing that here in the Facebook group and getting into that mindset of looking at what I did well, like what I chose and what I succeeded at, and then looking at what was challenging was far deeper than I ever thought it would be. I thought it was just kind of checking the boxes kind of thing, but what I've noticed is, and what I might not have noticed, I would have just gone through the month just kind of getting through it. What I noticed is, the emotional burden and physical burden that I, as a woman, carried throughout the month. And I'm no different from you. I know that if I was coaching you one-on-one or in a group setting, we would get down to it. You would see, and if you're following along and some of you are writing down what was challenging, you may be noticing that regardless of what your life looks like on paper, maybe you're financially, you're very wealthy and you think, oh, I've got it easy. This is what women do themselves all the time. Like, I actually have it pretty easy. Like, financially I'm okay and nothing, there's no dumpster fire right now, so I'm good. But are you? Are you? Usually there's some emotional weightlifting that you're doing that you're not even aware that you're doing. There are emotional burdens. Women carry the emotional burdens of the world. We do it, the emotional heavy weightlifting for everyone around us. And if you really notice what feels challenging at any given day, why you're not doing what you wish you would be doing, if you really look honestly at it, you'll start to discover you are doing some invisible workload that had you not been looking for it, it would have remained invisible. Because I go through my life, which hasn't changed, I mean, except for the Bell's palsy, that was new. But my life over the past 5 plus years, really 5 plus years, um, I definitely have, a lot of caretaking that I do for, my mom and adult children and myself, just in general, I do a lot of emotional weightlifting and extra tasks, the invisible workload, the actual workload that women do, a lot of it's invisible. And we don't see it because we just take it on. We just take it on and we're expected to take it on. Nobody says you have to take this on, but we just do. We absorb it and we start to absorb it invisibly. And I think, for women who struggle with weight and picking up extra weight, we're absorbing it literally into our bodies and our physical systems, in addition to that sort of energetic emotional space. And I do think it's related. I think when we have physical weight we want to lose, there's probably some invisible workload we need to lose. There's invisible emotional workload we need to lose and figure out how to deal with. And that comes, in other terminology that you may be more familiar with thinking about, it's reducing your stress. It's figuring out why you're burned out and then figuring out how to undo the stuff that's burning you out. When you work on burnout, you start to realize there's this thing called emotional burnout. So it's not only just actual things you do like housework or if you're caretaking, let's say an adult parent, driving them to the doctor, it's not just those physical activities, it's the emotional weightlifting you do around that. You're carrying all that person's medical history in the back of your brain. You're carrying in the back of your brain, let's just pick a parent, if you're caretaking a parent, in your brain, a lot of mental space just invisibly is taken up with what if this happens? What if this other thing happens? And then what will I do? All those things are back there taking up a lot of physical space in your brain, weighing you down, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, and it becomes invisible and we don't even realize it's there. So when and if you wonder why you're not doing exercise, why you're not getting up and doing your daily exercise, why you're not following some kind of plan. At the root of the issue is this invisible workload and invisible emotional weightlifting that you are doing. That's what I've discovered in July. That's what I'm kind of excited to talk about more. So tell me your thoughts. I'm just so curious if this resonates with you. All right, take care.